The markets are going bullish. Looking good out there. This is D7 here at Grok Trade, the weekend edition video, good through October 27th, 2019. And the markets are looking quite bullish. I like what I'm seeing. Let's check this out. Friday, we end the day mostly bullish with the NASDAQ doing the best, up 0.8%. If you look here, crude oil up 0.85%, silver up more than 1%, almost 1.5%, gold slightly higher, VIX lower by 7.7%. We're at 12.7, guys. There's no fear out there. Bitcoin now at 91. We got over 10,000 on Friday. We are over 9,000. Big move the last 2 days in Bitcoin. Let's take a look here at the markets, the S&P 500. And if you don't know anything about us, first time you stumbled across us, make sure you hit subscribe if you like the content that we're delivering. I give it fast and furious. Hit the little bell next to it if you want to be notified so you get it fresh. Okay. If you look here, we like to look at the S&P 500 first because it is the most prominent, the most important indice out there for us. We look at the daily chart because we're predominantly, as swing traders, that means we hold our stocks 1 to 2 weeks. We want to know what the barometer is. The S&P 500 is the best barometer that's out there. If you look here, we had something amazing happen on Friday. We had a close over. So we have what's called a static candlestick over a major trend line here. This is great news. Very bullish move out of the symmetrical triangle. It's breaking out. However, here's the only problem. The last week has been really low. Really low on volume. That's my only concern. The rest of it looks quite bullish. If you look here at the weekly chart on the S&P 500, we closed above another trend line. So the daily closed above a trend line. The weekly, on a different time scale, it's weekly, also closed above a major trend line. This is bullish, guys. Really bullish. I like what I'm seeing there. The monthly, we only have 4 days left to the month. And if you look here, if we can stay above 300, that's going to be huge because the monthly will have broken a major trend line. If you go back, let me show this to you. We touched it back here in January 2018, we touched it. Major resistance here, September 2018, and also October 2018. We are now in October 19, and we have a chance of closing above this area. Now listen, if the markets are going to retrace, it's going to be this week, and you're going to see a nasty retracement. You'll see this close below 300. That's a huge number. We got to stay above that 300 mark. We got to be over 301 actually. If we can stay above 301, I'm going to say, yeah, if we can be above 301 on the S&P 500, that is huge. As we talked about last week, guys, we remember how watch last week's video. If you haven't watched it, I want you to understand how important Monday was and going into Tuesday, how important that was, because that was going to set the tempo for the rest of the week, and that's precisely what we got. Monday set the tempo for the rest of the week. We got the bullish move. We got what we needed, but now we're not out of the woods on the monthly chart. We have 4 trading days left, and can the S&P stay above 300? I think yes, because here's why. If you look at the weekly chart, okay, we've already closed above a major trend line. The odds of it staying above are greater than it coming back below the trend line. So I think that is a pretty bullish move. Furthermore, on the daily chart, we did close above a trend line. I could see us, though, on the daily going higher, seeing major resistance at 304. I see us staying around no higher than 304, 305, okay, and no lower than 300. I think this week we're going to trail around 300, 305. If we do that, guys, look for more upside market behavior. I see some good things happening out there. A quick look at the daily chart, okay, on the diamonds. Diamonds were still caught up in this symmetrical triangle, not nearly as exciting. NASDAQ is very exciting. Tech stocks, it broke out back here on October 14. This is middle of October. We broke out of a trend line, we stayed above it, and now Friday we're moving. But lackluster volume, not liking that. Small caps, so Russell's 2000, we have not broken this major trend line yet. We're above major moving averages, but can we get above that trend line? I don't know. Maybe it's a big symmetrical triangle. If so, look for major movement to the upside. Because of the lackluster volume, that is to be expected in any sort of consolidation that we see in price action. That's what we have, is a lot of consolidation. How do you know that? Look at the moving averages. If you see the moving averages coiling together, coiling together, coiling together, that is consolidation. Volume should dry up. Look for a big move going into the future. And one thing that we're seeing a squeeze on the Bollinger Bands. If you are not familiar with the Bollinger Bands, go to freeonlinetradingeducation.com, freeonlinetradingeducation.com. Once you go there, let me quickly show this to you. freeonlinetradingeducation.com. Once you go here, go to the chart school. Once you go to the chart school, pick your Bollinger, go to indicators, oscillators, go to Bollinger Bands, and you can see this. What's super cool about this, this is a live chart. You can go like, this is the spider that we're looking at on the daily chart, and here's the Russell's 2000. We're coiling. Russell's 2000 ETF. If you look here, we're starting to pinch here and starting to open up. See how we pinched here and we got this big move? It needs to pinch a little more. I assume that we were going to be a little more pinched than this, but that's not what we're seeing. No problemo. Okay, so let me go back to the charts and what's this doing? Charts. Let me go back to the charts. Okay. So their IWM, the Bollinger Bands aren't condensing as much as I think that they will. So this price action could keep going into the apex of this, but watch for a big move. Price action trumps Bollinger Bands. Price action always trumps indicators. Price action always trumps indicators and oscillators. Okay, always remember that, because why? Price action is raw data. So when I say price action, what am I talking about? The chart itself. That is raw data. Indicators and oscillators are nothing more than formulas that take raw data, volume, and price action to come out with some other indication, okay? That's why they're called indicators. So it's taking past data to come up with a formation for us to visually see. Raw data, whoever reads that best wins. That's why the mentor students we teach in our mentorship program price action. We spend an immense amount of time on price action. Price action is where it's at. Volume, whoever reads raw data the best wins, period. That's how people ask, how are you able to understand what could happen next? And I always try to have a caveat. I don't know what's going to happen next. No one knows what's going to happen next in the markets from moment to moment. No one knows. You don't know, I don't know. No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow in the markets or the next second. No one knows. But what we do know is pragmatic thinkers, okay? What we do know with our objective eyes, looking at what is given to us, and our understanding of emotional behavior, because price action is nothing more than a footprint of human emotion. That's all it is. It's fear and greed plotted on your screen. So we have to watch this, right? And what you're getting here is a little taste of what we do in our mentorship, and it's 3 days. But we go deep, man. We dive deep into understanding of the market so we can pull profits out of it. We can make our money, make our money, make our money. Yeah. All right. Let me get going here. Let me just keep going. This is the financials. Financials, XLF, looking really good this week. We broke over the trend line and we stayed above it. That's really good. Low volume. Look for more volume on these breakouts if that happens. US dollar. US dollar had a rising wedge, two blue lines. See these two blue lines? Rising wedge. That's weak. Resistance, resistance. We miss hitting resistance. That showed relative weakness. We get our first lower swing high. That's bad news. We drop. We go into a pennant. We break the pennant right here. We hang up at this trend line. We break down, bust this major trend line. Now that major trend line is acting as resistance right now. That's what we have. Resistance right there. This is a good chance, an opportunity to short the US dollar. Crude oil, drop, up to the 50%. Look to get around 12 on crude and look to short that to the downside. That's what it looks like, a nice short opportunity, but we're in consolidation. It's not great. I'd much rather do this in a downtrend. We're not in a downtrend. We're in a sideways movement. So because of that, chances of any significant move on the short side won't be great. But nonetheless, we're in this huge, look how perfect these lines are. These lines are drawn perfectly on pivot points. So you can see that here. See that? They're drawn like this. It looks like a mess. It's not a mess. It's science, man. Trend line drawing is a science. It is not with a little art to it. But it's more objective than subjective. You have to understand trend lines. So silver, we said it looked bullish. There it is. Boom, to the upside, moving. Gold, we said it looks bullish. It's starting to make its move now. Gold and silver looks really good. The VIX is down. There's no fear out there in the markets, guys. No fear at all. You're at 12.7 at the time. That means that's a 6-month outlook of just no fear at all. Oh, that's amazing. That's helping the markets. Bitcoin, look at this. Last 2 days, Thursday, Friday, boom. Huge move here. So we were hovering down around 7,400. We got over 10,000 in 2 days. We're hovering right now at this point at 92 on Bitcoin. And so my Bitcoin is looking really good right now. Matter of fact, I'm looking to probably pick up some more. I needed to see this big volume, so that's telling me I might be picking up some more. Let's look at tech stocks. And if you're not interested in tech stocks, that's fine. You can peel off now. Tech stocks are here. I'm using trading view. I have a link down below. If you want to know more about the software that we're using here. Apple is up and away, very bullish, AMD is in a symmetrical triangle. There's no trade there. Amazon did something interesting, big falling wedge, which is bullish. So we broke out, we started to pull back on earnings, this is huge earnings season. Everybody's coming out with earnings. Boeing missed. There's a bunch of people that missed. Had a gap down, then it ran up, filling that gap. Do you see that? It fills that gap perfectly. Usually that means it's going to drop again, but on the other sense, when you get a big white candlestick at the bottom of price action, look for more upside potential there. Big bullish divergence on the MACD oscillator. BABA, we have a symmetrical triangle, big, and now a condensing symmetrical triangle. If you look at the daily or the line chart, I gotta tighten that one just a little bit right here, right there. These lines move also, slightly, but there it is. Look for a major move in BABA. It looks more bullish and bearish. We do have earnings here. Down here, November 1st, we teach not to hold over earnings. Baidu, big symmetrical triangle, guys. We have earnings, but this is going to move, guys. November 6th on Baidu. Booking, just in a nice gradual uptrend to the upside. November 7th is earnings. Cisco is just pitiful looking, but it could be trying to find a bottom. It has earnings on the 13th of November. Catfish, Cognizant, big symmetrical triangle, earnings on October 30th. eBay had earnings and crash, is down. eBay, stay away from it. It has to compete. eBay has to compete with Amazon. Let me show you Amazon chart. Amazon is down, it gapped down, rallied up. eBay was doing better and then gapped way down on earnings. So that's interesting. I just think eBay has to retool to compete with Amazon. Facebook, big symmetrical triangle, chopping around and moving averages, nothing there. Google's looking good. Google's looking really good. GoPro has earnings on November 7th, and it's in a downtrend. GoPro is a good short opportunity. That's a bear pullback, so look to short that. Microsoft, big sideways movement here, but if it can pop up above 142, 145 area, that'd be good for it. MU, Micron, symmetrical triangle moving to the upside on nice volume. Let's watch for a breakout. Netflix has been taking a hit. Let's see what happens with it. It's in a symmetrical triangle. If it breaks down below this, you short it. Nvidia is looking strong going into Christmas. Oracle, big symmetrical triangle at support, so this could be a buying opportunity, but be careful because it could break down. Most of the price action is at the lower trend line instead of the upper trend line, so you have to know what you're doing. So if you're one of our students, you know how to play this, especially if you're one of our 401 students. There's some opportunity there. PayPal's up and away. We do have a nice jab here, or death hook, and it's looking really good. PayPal going into Christmas. Shopify, triangle, that one has earnings on the 29th, so it's like right now. Snap is up 3%, but it just is looking weak to me. Tesla up 28%, guys. Had earnings on 23rd, and the last couple of days it's just on a fire. Tesla on fire, is doing really well. Twitter is just in the dumps. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Twitter's horrible. All right, monologue. Here's a date coming up. You can team up with us to say, I'm finally going to do it. I'm not making any money in the markets. Listen, if you have not lost an account in the markets, that's amazing. I have lost two trading accounts back when I first started. From there, I've only gone up. From there, I'm a former institutional trader. I was trading other people's monies at an institution, and I trade today. People ask, why do I teach? And it all spawned from a trading club that I got started. That trading club started with 4 people. It's over 500 strong. I'm going to start it again online. We outgrew our place. If you go to the bottom of Grok Trade, I'm at groktrade.com. You can see it above me. But down at the very, very bottom, if you have an interest in being in our trading club, we meet online. Okay, it's the same way we do our mentorships. It's right here. We meet online. And yeah, you can do that. We have a mentorship in November. Here's the dates: November 23rd, 24th, and 25th. November 23rd, 24th, 25th. You can click on mentor. You can do that, or I'll put up John's personal cell phone. You can send him a text. You can call him too, or send him a text and say that you'd like to ask your questions. Ask him your questions about mentoring. You can go here and click on mentoring and read about it, fill out the form. You can do that too. A lot of people just don't want to fill out forms and stuff. That's fine. You don't have to do that. That 3 days. But man, I was talking to somebody recently, and he had blown through an account, and he's not one of our students. Well, not yet. He's going to be. But my heart breaks for you guys. I don't say that lightly. Because we work so hard for our money, right? I mean, we go and we know the money that we can pull out of the markets. We know it's there. The money's all around us. It's all right there, right? So we put our net out to capture that profit. But we make a mistake. We get fearful. We start getting out at major losses. We take more losses. We hold things too long. We never take our profits in time. You know, all the bad things. We hold over earnings. We do all the stupid amateur stuff. And all of a sudden, before you know it, we push all of our coins in the middle of the table, all of our chips in the middle of the table, and we swing for the fences trying to make our losses back quickly. Oh, I feel for you guys. Listen, trading is the hardest, simplest thing to do in the world. What do I mean by that? It's trading is simple. It is complex, but once you dial into what a trading plan truly is, most people don't understand. That's lost on them. Most of you guys out there trading don't have a trading plan. You just don't. A trading plan means, let me define it for you so you don't have an artificial understanding of what a trading plan is. But a trading plan is having paperwork with your steps and scenarios. When this scenario develops, these are my steps on what I do next. So it's highly articulated. Every move you make in trading is highly articulated. Most of you guys test, meaning that there's so many variables you could never put a trade plan together because there's too many variables. It would be this monster book that you would never adhere to it. There's no way that even the most disciplined person could adhere to it because of the amount of information in that trade plan. So, and I mean, we produce full-time traders. I know a lot of full-time traders. And what I do know about them, the common thread amongst professional traders is we have very detailed methodology on how we go down the path of profitable trading. Once you have your rule sets in place and you trade them, then you have to have the discipline to follow those rules and to never break them. We can give 10 people a winning system and 8 of you guys will find a way to bastardize it. They'll lose money at it. I'm making up those numbers. I'm being facetious there, but that's a mentality issue. That's a discipline issue. It could arguably be an emotional issue because our emotions drive us to make decisions in the market. Especially when we start making more money, when our account's growing, our confidence grows, and we start taking more risks. The problem with that is in a trading plan that you have set parameters on risk. So you have money management principles in there, risk management principles in there. And your confidence is an emotion. That emotion will cause you to take on more risk. Taking on more risk goes against what your plan has in place. Most of you guys have peeled off already because I'm going deep, but you guys, if you've been trading over 2 years, 3 years, you're still with me listening right now because you know what I'm saying is enriching you. I have been trading in the live markets over 2 decades using technical analysis. The reason I even have an education company is because of this trading club I started, and people, and finally, once we started growing, we were all kind of teaching each other, showing new things. The problem was I blew 2 accounts when I first started my trading club. 2 accounts! I blew through them. But then I came to this fork in the road. Hey, am I going to stop trading or am I going to keep trading? Because it was becoming a really expensive hobby. Very expensive hobby. Came to the fork in the road and I thought, what needs to happen if I stay with trading? What do I need to do? Oh, I need to get formalized trading education. Okay, I went and found a place called Teach Me to Trade. They're not even around anymore. But I spent $21,000 with them. They brought you to this free webinar class for 2 hours, and then you paid $2,000 for a 3-day class. And I went to the 3-day class, and at the end of the 3 days seminar, but we went to the back of the room, dropped big money in the back of the room. So total is $21,000 for me. But the reason I went the bigger package is because I was talking to the students, and they said, get the mentor, get the mentor. That's how we learn, get the mentor. And the mentor was the bigger package. I went to, I got the bigger package, I got the mentor. And at this point, I had 2 mentors. I had one for fundamental analysis, teaching me how to find the best stocks out there. That was a friend of mine, Al Zinkovich. He's not with us anymore. But he mentored me for years on fundamental analysis. That is something I will cherish the rest of my life. And then I needed my technical analysis. I didn't have a mentor yet, but I got it to teach me to trade. Got a trading mentor. Did the mentoring, and that's when everything changed for me. That's when the lights came on, because there's nothing. If you're going to learn to do anything, put me with somebody that does it, and let me ask my questions at my speed. Right? Have that. So for trading, what I liked about my mentor is when I went to him, I was able to say, here's my trades, this is what I'm doing. And he was able to analyze what I was doing and how we could tweak things to be more profitable. And he put me on a path of better success, because it wasn't my testing variables I was adding. It was what he was doing to make money in the markets, and he was introducing me to those concepts. Man, that's rich. And so I did those, and what ended up happening was it was like I kept having these aha moments where I kept wanting to jump up and run around the house because it's like, yes, this was the information I needed. Don't give me another book or let me sit through another webinar or another seminar. Back in those days, they were seminars, not webinars. Don't let me sit. Man, I got my heater on and it's burning up in here. And maybe because my energy level is increasing. So I didn't want another one of those. When I sat with a mentor, it was like one day was worth 10 days in a seminar, right? Because I was hearing specifics of trading, specific techniques, specific methodologies on how to put my trading together. And if I had a thought about stop loss theory, I could ask him and we could debate. I love the fact that I could debate, right? Because I had my own ideas. I could debate a little bit, and then once I would lose an argument, I would be like, yes, I would have this change. It's like, I agree now. And I would incorporate that into my methodology, my trading, and how I would approach the market. So I started baby steps. I was trading just a little after I left my mentor. He brought me way back. Back in those days, I was trading 1,000 shares at a time. True story. I was trading a pretty good size account. And I went down, and then he had me just only trading 100 shares at a time. And what we teach now is something far superior to that even, but back in those days, that's how I did it. It was rudimentary. It was, a little more archaic, but I went to 100 shares. And to me, it was like I shouldn't even be trading. 100 shares is like boring. But that's where I needed to be. I needed to be about trading and focusing on trading and trading well, not money, not profits, and not the fear of loss. It shouldn't have been anything about emotions. The focus should be trading and trading well. Do that first. And once you do, you have now earned your right to increase your risk in the market. You've earned your right to trade more, right? And until that point, why endure the expense of being undereducated, be ignorant to certain concepts of the markets, not knowing what you don't know, unconsciously incompetent, okay? Unconsciously incompetent is the worst place you can be in trading. Consciously competent is where we need to be, and that's what or mentoring. The only reason I did it is because the mentor did it. So because when I did my first mentoring, I went and started trading a little bit, but then I had these other questions that came up because now I'm deep in my trading with awareness, right? Now I know what's going on. And my questions were just deeper. They were more involved. So I went back to my mentor and did a couple of days with him again, asking those questions. Now that I was trading in the markets, it's like 2 or 3 months later, I'd been trading and I've had a couple hundred trades under my belt by that time. I got back to him and I had, okay, this is where I'm at. How can we dial my trades in? How could I have made more money? And it was amazing because he went to everyone in trades and said, if you would have traded it this way, same trades, okay? If you would, and it all had to do with stop loss methodology, or I keep using the word methodology, stop loss options to have. Say, here's different options you could have used to help pull out more profits and to know when to get out and which stop losses to use, what type of stop losses to use, systems use during what type of patterns that you have or what type of environment that you're in. So there's all these variables, right? And I needed to hone in on what was right and what I shouldn't be paying attention to. There's so much fluff that we should not be. Half of learning in trading is what not to pay attention to. So yeah. So and then I was off to the races. At that point, the company Teach Me to Trade says, holy smokes, one of our students is a full-time trader now, which I did. I quit my job to go trade. And I was their golden child. They said, do you want to teach for us? I said, hey, I'm not looking for another job. And they said, well, let me tell you what we're paying each day. And when they told me, I said, what? Hey, when do you need me to come and get trained? So 15 of us went to Vegas for 3-day training. It wasn't a 3-day training. It was a 3-day interview process. And after 3 days, they kept 7 of us. And I was one of them. And matter of fact, that... I don't know if you can see me, but that is my Mentor of the Year award. There were 50 of us, and that was given to me in Las Vegas. Mentor of the Year. Last year I was with them. I was honored with that. And then I became a competitor with Grok Trade, and so I own this. And we offer mentoring is because I know that is the only path to successful trading. There's no successful traders out there who have not been mentored. If you know somebody, let me know. Not really. I mean, you can, but everybody, every master golfer has had a coach. Every master basketball player has had a coach. Every master anything has had a coach. What does it say about a person that doesn't invest in themselves with a coach or a mentor? I would put our students up against anybody out there in the markets. Yeah, so anyway, I'm just bragging on you guys, you 301s, 401 students, bragging on you. Yeah, did not expect to be doing a monologue. If you made it, man, let me know that you made it at the end. And so I've asked a couple questions of you guys, but I'd like here, let me know just how long you've been trading. How long have you been trading and what do you trade? How long and what do you trade? Like me at 21 years, I trade stocks, ETFs, futures, crypto. That's what I trade. Even though I was an options instructor for many years, I don't do options. I'm not an options fan. I'm due to odds, the odds. Yeah. I don't like the time decay. Theta is one of the big ones. I don't like having a time bomb. Anyway, don't get me started. I'll jump on a soapbox some other time on options, but I'd like to know, what do you trade? I'm not saying options are bad. We don't teach them on purpose. and I don't use them. Our other mentor Mark does. He does options, and it's a way to go. There's just other assets, securities out there that you can trade that gives you more leverage when you're ready for leverage, when you've earned your right for leverage. There's more of them out there that don't have theta or time decay that you've got to deal with. Futures, Forex. So anyway, that's it. Let me know, how long have you been trading and what do you trade? I told you how long and what I trade. Do me the favor. I want to learn you guys. I want to get to know you guys. And any responses you have to my diatribe, my monologue that I just had, it'd be interesting. You know, my fear is, let me tell you what my fear is. My fear is we as analytical individuals, we hate to be sold. Matter of fact, we don't hate it, we loathe it. If we feel like we're trying to be sold, that's bad. That's just horrible. I don't like to be sold. I don't like, but the passion, the energy that you saw from talking about this, I hope you see it. Man, I've owned this business 14 years, in 2007, so or 12 years, whatever that is, and my passion for making money in the markets and helping others change their life, there's nothing. I mean, when I help somebody's life change, I mean, it's hard to beat, right? It's hard to beat. I used to do a trading video every day. Matter of fact, I did two. I did one in the morning, pre-market, and one at night. So 2 a day. I did 10 videos each day, but I just don't have the time to do that now. Don't have the time to do that many videos. So I hope, yeah, I hope the videos I do are appreciated. And if you have stayed with me this long, if you made it, let me know that you made it. You guys are crazy, crazy, crazy. So, you guys have a good one. Take care. See you later. Bye.